The Beast of Colombia. The Chilling Crimes of Luis Garavito, a true crime documentary. Colombia, a nation known for its breathtaking landscapes and vibrant culture, was haunted by a nightmare that few could comprehend. Between the 1990s and early 2000s, a monster lurked in the shadows. His name was Luis Garavito. A man whose crimes were so horrific that they shook the entire world. Uncover the darkest crimes, shocking mysteries, and real-life investigations. Welcome to Fame Files, where truth is more terrifying than fiction. Fame Files cover all the true crime stories of the whole world with you on this channel. Stay connected with us and keep watching daily true crime stories on Fame Files. Number 1. The man behind the monster. Luis Alfredo Garavito Cubelos was born on January 25, 1957, in Genova, Quindío. The eldest of 7 children, Garavito's childhood was a horror story of its own, marked by physical abuse, neglect, and alleged sexual violence at the hands of his own father. Studies show that many serial killers have a history of trauma and abuse. In Garavito's case, this toxic environment likely fueled his transformation into one of the world's most notorious child predators. Number 2. The horrific crimes. Throughout the 1990s, young boys, many from impoverished backgrounds, began disappearing across Colombia. They were lured by a kind stranger offering food, money, or small gifts. That stranger was Garavito. Cue reenactments with blurred figures, maps showing crime locations, and news footage of parents searching for their missing children. Once he had gained their trust, he would take them to remote locations, where his true nature emerged. His crimes were beyond brutal: torture, assault, and ultimately, murder. And he didn't stop at just a few victims. Authorities believe Garavito may be responsible for the deaths of more than 300 children, making him one of the deadliest serial killers in recorded history. Number 3. The investigation. For years, law enforcement struggled to connect the dots. The disappearances were widespread, and due to Colombia's history of conflict, many assumed these children were victims of paramilitary violence. But in 1997, a mass grave was discovered, revealing the true horror at hand. It wasn't until 1999 that a key mistake led to Garavito's downfall. He was arrested for attempting to assault a young boy. During questioning, police noticed his resemblance to a suspect sketch, and upon further investigation, they found a stash of disturbing evidence, notes, maps, and trophies from his victims. Number 4. The trial and shocking sentence. With undeniable proof of his crimes, Garavito finally confessed. His testimony was chilling, detailing how he stalked, tortured, and murdered his victims. But what shocked the world wasn't just his crimes, it was his sentence. Despite being responsible for the deaths of nearly 200 children, Garavito was sentenced to just 40 years in prison, a term later reduced to 22 years due to his cooperation with authorities. Cue interviews with legal experts, journalists, and the families of victims, expressing outrage over the leniency of the sentence. Number 5. Where is Garavito now? For decades, Colombians feared the day Garavito would be released. However, in 2023, fate intervened. Garavito died in prison at the age of 66, succumbing to cancer. But his legacy remains a terrifying reminder of the darkness that can lurk beneath the surface of society. Cue final images of victims' memorials, interviews with families, and a closing statement. Luis Garavito may be gone, but the scars he left on Colombia, and the world, will never fade. If you found this story compelling, subscribe for more true crime documentaries. And remember, evil can hide in plain sight. If you enjoyed this documentary, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more true crime and celebrities stories.